Hello everybody and welcome to episode 15 of my Dark Elves Let's Play. We are going to be doing a little bit more consolidation this time. Once we're done with this High Elf army, then we're going to be working out exactly what we're going to be doing next. I think it's going to be a good old war with these orcs because I don't trust them. Sitting right there on my border, let's be honest, they're orcs. Orcs are not going to be trustworthy. Well, they're... What are they? Because they are a wandering... they were started out as a rogue army, so actually these guys might well not just be orcs, which could be interesting. Right, let's do a few things. I want to cancel my military access because I don't want them walking through, which is putting us on this little bit of a negative footing for now. I'm not going to cancel the non-aggression pacts just yet, but I don't want to be sticking friendly with them, you know, for too long. We're getting him back there. We are staying dug in here. Here is nice and secure, and down here is good. So let's enter. Okay, guys. So as I said, we're going to deal with those guys next. If you have been watching my other streams as well, guys, by the way, I am going to be starting a new Beastman stream, probably streams. I keep calling them streams. Series. I'm going to be starting a new Beastman series tomorrow after my terrible failure as Kazrak with one eye, who got a little stomped about episode 8. I had some good battles, but I got very stomped. I'm thinking of starting as Mugha or of a Shadowgrave one, so the mage of the Chaos Spawn one. So let me know what you think if you're interested in either of those. However, it's probably going to be... I'm leaning towards the mage at the moment, though in 10 minutes I'll be leaning towards the other one. You know how it is. So, because I actually started really enjoying that. I was just getting to grips with them because I've never really been particularly good at Beastmen. I'm not promising my next campaign is actually going to last any longer, by the way. I could just as easily mess up and get squished as I nearly did at the start of this one. But that does make for a nice, tense and interesting campaign at the start, certainly. Talking of Beastmen, what are these guys doing? I want them out of my territory. Anyway, once I've done all of those, I will also be moving on to something else, so do give us a shout if there's a particular faction you do want to watch. At some point, I will be doing a dwarf playthrough, because dwarfs are probably my favourite faction, though it's debatable, because lizardmen are also probably my favourite faction now, even though I'm not playing that one as much. I really enjoy the lizardmen playstyle, but they're quite similar in a different way. What lizardmen are... aggressive but stubborn, whereas dwarfs are defensive but stubborn. Anyway, let's get back to listening to this one now. We've researched Festival of Cain, which gets me more untainted. Oh, we've got a couple of things. I'm going to get myself... Oh, what's this one I should do? That's quite good. Although I want to get another Black Ark into my arsenal. I don't necessarily want to recruit it yet, but I can build up, by doing this, I can build up a reserve of them so that they're there when I need them.
Plotting a course.
Okay, so they've pulled back a bit. Let's get... Where have the elves gone? They're not in my territory anymore, I don't care. I've got walls around all of these places. I'm happy where I am at the moment.
Favoured of the Witch King. Dark Sabbath.
See, that's sorting here out. I can't do any recruitment with that army at the moment. I do want to bring them back down and do so in a little bit. That's the other thing I want to look at. Which buildings get me some good lords? Because I want to get myself a Cainite Assassin, because they are very good straight damage, but I do also want to get myself some Sorceresses soon as well. I want to push up both of these trees here. Long run, because that'll get me a lot of good things. Cold One Dread Knights will be fun. Cold One Knights there. Cold One Dread Knights will be very good. Though they can get themselves a little over-engaged. Blackguard and Agrond will be very useful. So there's a few extra things I do want to build here. I am going to... How are we doing the public order? Not brilliantly, actually. Let's chuck enough public order building up here, and then we're going to knock this one over in here. Okay, so end turn again. Sorry guys, this is going to be a few turns of consolidation for the time being, so we'll have to pay attention to what goes on, but for now it's just going through the motions until I'm in a position to be aggressive again. I need to get those territories back sorted. Agol is not a problem for me anymore. Lothan are suffering now, and oh, what's her name? The Cult of Pleasure, Marathi. They are still holding their own somehow. I am very impressed. They've actually regained a settlement. They are back to 3. They were down to 2 a little bit back. So they are actually still holding their own down there, surprisingly. In all that horrible Chaos Corruption. That Chaos Corruption probably really helps them, though, because everybody else who comes into their territory is probably taking horrific Chaos Corruption for being in there. But unfortunately means it's quite hard for me to help them, because I would also take Chaos Corruption. I'm going to need to go and deal with that horde, because that is also spreading Chaos Corruption through my territories. I don't particularly want to be going and dealing with them, but I might have to go down and smash them before I do anything else. I wish I could just get them to move out of my territory. So they are still pressing their war against the Skaven. I think that High Elf army is just running the hell away now, so I'm not worried too much about them. These guys are pulling back, probably to deal with... Oh, these guys are now raiding in my territory as well. Will here stay happy if I leave it? Ooh, why do I have those? I don't want those in there. No. Tricky situation here. See, these guys are also, well, we're not necessarily making negatives, but they're not great for my public order here. So that can be dropped, because that's somewhere else now. See, we've got 2 things here which I want. And this is good, because this helps keep them and makes my Blackguard better as well, which is very nice. However, I do also want to get them through this, simply because this also gives me that unlocks other things as well. So there might be a few things that are getting knocked over here. Let's just keep buffing my economy for a little bit. Soon, guys, soon we will be starting on this war. I just need to be in the right position to do it, because if I do it too early, I will have massive public order issues behind me. I need to get my public order in order to start with, and then we can start aggressively expanding into those orcs. Potentially get a few nice battles, because there are some. They do have some nice big armies. Oh, we are being attacked again. This should be a nice fun battle. This is, I believe, a walled settlement, so... So we shall have to see. Sorry, I was coughing there. Oh no, it's not a walled settlement. Oh, sure, this is a walled settlement. Oh well, I've got a reasonable sized garrison. You know, we've got some nice troops here, equal size. They do have some things to worry about. They've got the chariot and they've got the eagles. They don't actually have too many archers left. However, their archers are better than my archers, but they're not armor piercing like my armors. So my armors like my archers. So that's a good thing. Though I don't have as many people with shields. So, yeah, this will be quite an aggressive battle from my part, probably. I'll let them come to me, and then I'll be aggressive, and I'm going to use my cavalry, try and effectively use my cavalry. But again, the downside is, even their archers have spears, which means that actually, it's going to be quite painful using my archers. But the first thing I'm going to do is try and take out their archers. If I can get rid of their archers, just like me, if they can get rid of my archers, I'm in trouble. So, okay, so let's have a nice simple formation. I should keep the Death Hag off to the side, because I can use her to pin a few units. Oh, we don't have any woodland we can hide. Yeah, we have a little bit of wood. I can hide these guys in. I'm going to try and sneak them up the side, but that might not work particularly well.
Going to destruction.
Okay, they are remaining hidden, and what I'd ideally like to do is have that keep them hidden so I can slide them into the back. And a fireball. So here they come. They know where my cavalry is. And see, this is the downside. Don't want to go too early with my cav. Hit that eagle, archers. Now I want to spring the trap. Get these guys up. These guys can start moving around the side. Whoa, they are. But you see, this is what I wanted to be careful of. Now let's start hammering their archers. Let's get my my lord can start chasing. These guys can hammer straight in mass. You guys can hit the back of there. We are hitting their archers. And let's smash these guys. That was a good hit, and let's keep going. Okay, that's what we wanted. That's good. My lord is on their lord. We've picked their archers off. Let's just get these guys helping in general. That's good. We're breaking them out now. Let's fold onto their lord a bit. You can stay on these guys. We are beginning to break, which isn't good. I'm going to pull these guys back a bit, actually. Especially as this mage appears free. Oh, why are you not attacking? Okay, let's move my lord down here. You guys can come and smash into the back of some of these guys, actually, now. Because we've lost our shock. Which is what I need, because these guys are shock cavalry. You can charge back over at these. You see, I've taken a lot of damage from doing this. Okay, this isn't going as well as I'd like, actually. However, we are beginning to shatter some of them. That's good. You can keep chasing them down. You can head over here. All of the cav can hit one of these. Alright, you guys can all, my archers can hit them. Right, all break and hit this one. Okay, that's good. Break and start hitting these guys. Okay, we're getting there now. That was a little bit more messy than I'd have actually liked, guys. But I've won, but I've not won as well as I should have won, basically. That should have gone better. But this is the horrible thing about the High Elf archers. They have spears. Which means if you try and do the classic get your cavalry around the back and charge them, they just put the spears down and go, hello. And then your cavalry takes a lot of damage. As I regularly use my Lothern Sea Guard to pin cavalry charges. Or to pin any flanking units as High Elves, and I use them to pin them and then use the rest of my archers to kill them. Okay, let's take the replenishment and saves there. That our little army is not doing well now. It's going to have to push back, or the other Dark Elf faction is going to, the Forgebound are going to finish them off. Oh God, Morathi has some nice armies already, but this, as I said, this is where I lack, because I lost Nagaron so early on. So I have suffered to get here, actually, guys. So while I'm here now, it's taken a lot of effort to get to here, and I'm probably about 30 to 40 turns of leveling up cities behind everybody else, which is not good, as you can imagine. Okay, so what are the Forgebound doing? They are just clearing stuff up. They are running away. Okay, and we've got all of these guys. I need to send an army down to deal with these guys, and unfortunately it's got to be you. Right, so we are moving down to deal with these guys.
Abominable snow.
What is so some of that's going to go. The corruption is going to continue to be an issue there. No matter what I do. Let's have a look. Let's start building a wall. Oh, actually. Yeah, no, let's start building a wall. Yeah, if I can get their garrison up there in a nice defensive position. Well, let's have a look at some of these garrisons. So, Black Orcs. And oh god, so that's a mix of Beastmen and Orcs. Okay! That could be an interesting group to fight when I fight them. You can just hang around offering support. Right, I want to push down this way because Death Hags are definitely good, as are K-Knight Assassins, and we'll get the Sorcerers next. Or I might even get one of these, in fact, hang on. That's also very good. Because it's the extra experience for more. I'm going to get the other one first because I can start recruiting them earlier. That's not an issue. I'm going to go along this coast. I just want to scout how far these guys have pushed. Okay. So once I have dealt with the Beastmen incursion, I'm going to pull up. I'm going to rejig my armies a little bit with my new units. So I've got some Blackguard in there as well. It'll probably be mostly a Blackguard and a Black Ark Corsairs at that point. Potentially get a couple of monstrous units in there if I can. Basically give myself a higher tier army, and then we're going to start. Then we will start the war with the Orc Beastmen faction, who are above me, which could be a fun war. I do need to keep an eye on the High Elves, but I'm not massively worried because I don't have a big border with them, and they're mostly dealing with. They're still in quite a big conflict with Morathi at the moment. So, and if I can take at least take a big chunk out of those orcs to reduce their size, I will be in a far stronger position. I'll be able to pump out a few more armies. And once I've done that, I think the next plan will be the invasion of Ulthuan. To deal with those pesky high elves. Or I could even completely ignore that if Marafi's doing reasonably well and actually just go for the old world. Go through Nausicaan territory and push into the old world potentially, which would be interesting too. Okay, so my mage is leveled up. I'm thinking she's getting fairly nicely leveled. I'm actually going to start taking some of these now though. Let's have a look. Actually, let's up Soul Stealer as well. Okay, so let's level this one up so we can get shades. Actually, no. I can't afford that just yet. We're nearly there. Oh, and we can now recruit Blackguard as well. But I'm not going to do that just yet, because my income is struggling enough as it is. Let's get some more slave pens. So that's actually quite good. I hadn't realised we get a negative, we get a better impact from the top level of this as well, which is quite good. Okay. Black Art can stay there, and you can. Ooh, you can head and pick up. Go and explore this mysterious island. I want the campaign bonus.
Set the sails.
Okay.
Yes.
So again, we're doing quite nicely here. It's mostly about just getting, as I keep saying, it's mostly about just getting ourselves consolidated now, back into a position where I can start really being aggressive. But I also want to restate economy. You always want to be pushing out your economy, because if you're not pushing out your economy, you can't afford to do anything else. There will be occasions when you've got to take away from your economy, but if your economy isn't good, you can't do anything else. So when you can, you want to push economy, unless you absolutely have to be pumping out masses of armies, and sometimes you do, as we've had to here. You know, we've been on the brink of bankruptcy a few times simply because I've been having to push the armies to stay alive and eking it out, but you need to keep that economy going. Also, we've got the Nature's Wrath in here fighting with the High Elves, so that's interesting. I think that's well, it's certainly a Wood Elf faction. Because you can see they've got a whatever the tree men are called in this lore, but so we'll have to see if I can see what they're made of. Though it's a rogue army, so it's potentially made up of a few different types of units. I have seen a tree man leading an orc army in one of those things, which was a bit weird. So Forgebound are still pressing their attacks. So no, I'm glad the Forgebound are all dealing with over there, because they're actually quite powerful, though they are very good friends with me. Okay, so that's a horde of tree men, or something. I can't see that, but this could be a very weird setup, which is the quite cool thing about them, so... It takes so long to get around the back of these territories. Okay, so we're in a better position. As I said, I want to save up this so I can start get another sorcerer if needs be. Though that doesn't even necessarily have to go in this territory. Actually, that could potentially go elsewhere. Thinking about it, which frees up some space here for other things, because they aren't necessarily army units. I'm probably going to knock this one over. I'm on plus 28 at the moment. That's giving me plus 10, so I'm going to knock this over as well, just to try and sort my economy a little bit. How's it doing up here, public order wise? Okay, we can start leveling some of these up. Actually, let's level the main settlement up, and then we can pump these up a little bit. This is dropping as well, which is helping.
Lord of Nagaroth. Feared by all.
Right, I'm happy with that. I don't need to be pushing that way. So I'm just going to keep exploring, looking for more islands. Okay. We have sped all of these up, right? Yeah, these are all on fastest. I can just double time it through, but you do completely miss things then if you fast forward, because it literally doesn't show anything from when you do it other than on the faction you've done it, so I find I miss quite a lot if I do that. So I do apologise for the turn times at the end turns, but it is a big old campaign, this. I mean, you can see how many people there are. Oh, they are coming up again. God, I might need to send an army down to try and at least deal with their incursions, because they're getting annoying. But I really don't trust the orcs enough to leave them on my borders. Although they're not necessarily orcs, they're also beastmen, so it's such an odd combination of factions that... Oh, it looks like Marathi might be about to get Moonshard back as well down there. She's got a lot of armies there, though they've also got a big army in here. Let's see what the Forgebound are doing. And they're pulling an army back now because of that incursion. That little army's just been being chased all over the place. The Skaven are just running somewhere. I think they want to attack the Forgebound, but they also want to defend their own settlements, so they're in a bit of a tricky position. Oh, the statue! One of your lords has arrogantly fought to erect a giant brass statue in the capital without obtaining your permission. How dare he! The statue is of Huruk the Sunderer, a minor deity. To make matters worse, you can see this eyesore from your balcony. What should be done? I can make myself a brass horn. You can wound a character, or I can levy a fine. I'm going to levy... Ooh. Wow, these are all rubbish. Wow, it was the guy I had at sea. Yeah, raising statues while he's at sea. He's obviously very good at multitasking.
My loyal subjects.
The chill winds blow.
Okay, so we are almost there. Nice. So, what do I want to build next? I want that sooner rather than later, because that's very good. So actually, I'm going to... he starts saying he's going to save up, then he thinks about it. Okay, next turn. I am sorry guys, this really has been a game of next turn, next turn. This has been a session of next turn, next turn, next turn. It does happen sometimes, we all have been there, but it doesn't necessarily always make the best watching experience, because I'm sure as you, just like when I'm watching Let's Plays, I'm sure you guys want to see the battles and the action. But I've got to take my time to consolidate now at the moment, guys, because if I go to war, oh god. Here, I'm glad I'm not the main border there. If I take too much, if I push too hard now, guys, I am going to suffer for it. Can I make friends with those orcs up north again so I can concentrate on Ulfwan, do you think? Because I might. They might be getting a little too big for their boots. I might need to push Ulfwan down.
You know that.
No. I don't want peace with you, not unless you're offering me lots of golds. And at some point I do want to mount an invasion of Ulfwan. I'd have just preferred to leave it until I had a bit more territory up north, but if I can actually become staunch friends with those orcs, no, it's not gonna happen. I'm gonna flatten those orcs. I just need to keep an eye on what's going on down there. I can potentially put another army together to help defend down here as well. And I'm fairly sure the Forgebound are going to actually be able to push those guys off. They just need to get their armies out of that stupid desert. Okay, so we've got quite a few rogue armies wandering around the place at the moment. Let's see what the Wrath of Nature are doing. Oh, nothing we can see. Right, they want me to have conflict with the Skaven. I don't. Right, let's deal with these damn Beastmen. It's a very easy auto, and let's enslave them. Oh look, it's a Skaven settlement. So, Malekith has leveled up again. We are going down his damaging route now. Let's have a look at these. So, well, that's very good. That's very good for whichever province he's in at the time. So, yeah, that's very, very good, as you can see. Let's buff up. Let's build another income building.
The air is thick with murder.
Storage-Car can lose its wall. Cause that's right back in my heartland. That's relatively safe for the time being. I might even lose Carcarnold's wall, but I'm not going to do it just yet, because but I want to be able to get this area into a situation where they can build at least reasonable armies as well. Now I'm going to save that for when I start my war. And okay guys, I am going to end turn here, and I am actually going to end this session here, guys. So again, as always guys, thank you very much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Please feel free to offer feedback, guys. I am very new to this. I know I'm getting a few extra subs and things at the moment, and I want to keep you guys watching. I want to be entertaining, so if there's anything I can do to improve, by all means, please let me know. If you think I'm doing something completely and utterly wrong, also, by all means, tell me, let me know how you think I can improve. Like, getting an army down here to try and deal with these guys. I need to actually pay attention there, because they're invading. So I'm actually going to be forced to try and make a little bit of a peace with those orcs for the time being. And we'll go and take the war to Ulfwan actually over the next few games then, I think. Though I might have alienated those orcs too much, so we'll have to see what happens. Anyway guys, with that, I'm just going to let this play out, because end of turns aren't necessarily the most interesting thing to watch. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and thank you for your time.